Okay, what is that?
No idea.
Crap!
A strange round object was seen flying through the sky in Nevada. It had glowing lights and moved faster than any airplane we know. Even crazier, it was seen near Area 51, the place where secret government projects happen. The object didn't fly like anything made by humans. And so far, no official has said what it was. This raises important questions. What is flying in the skies above Nevada? And why won't anyone explain it? Join us as we look through eyewitness films of UFO vehicles. Desert Anomaly. In late 2019, a driver captured something unusual on video while traveling through Nevada's desert highways. The footage shows a bright spherical object moving at extreme speed across the restricted airspace near Groom Lake. The object appears to have glowing appendages extending from its main body, creating plasma-like trails of green and blue light. What makes this sighting different from typical aircraft is its movement pattern. The object changes direction instantly without slowing down, defying basic physics principles that govern all known flying vehicles. Military aviation experts point out that no known aircraft, military or civilian, can perform these extreme maneuvers without suffering structural failure or endangering the pilot. The sharp turns, rapid acceleration, and sudden stops defy the limits of current propulsion systems, making the sightings even more baffling to engineers and scientists alike. The location adds another layer of mystery. This area sits just miles from Area 51, where classified aircraft testing has occurred for decades. Some suggest the object could be an experimental drone or a weather phenomenon, but the unusual light patterns remain unexplained. But what if someone had worked inside these facilities? Reverse engineering alien tech. In 1989, a physicist named Bob Lazar came forward with explosive claims about his work at a secret facility called S4, located south of Area 51. Lazar described working on a recovered spacecraft that used technology far beyond human understanding. He claimed these crafts operated using element 115, a super heavy element that wouldn't be officially discovered by scientists until 2003. According to Lazar, the vehicles used gravity amplifiers and antimatter reactors to achieve impossible flight characteristics. The government publicly denied that Bob Lazar ever worked at the facility, erasing records and discrediting his claims. However, he described advanced biometric hand scanners and interior layouts of secure areas, details that were unknown to the public at the time, but later confirmed by former employees and declassified documents. Has someone finally broken their silence about alien technology reverse engineering programs? But Lazar's claims weren't the only strange reports emerging worldwide. The Northern Lights mystery. In December 2009, thousands of witnesses across Norway reported an enormous spiral of blue and white light rotating in the pre-dawn sky. The phenomenon lasted for several minutes before a green beam shot from its center and the entire formation disappeared. Norwegian authorities initially had no explanation for the lights, which appeared nothing like typical aurora displays. The spiral's precise geometric shape and smooth, calculated rotation stood out sharply against the night sky, baffling experts. Unlike any known atmospheric event, its symmetry remained intact while expanding outward. Meteorologists confirmed it didn't match natural phenomena, like auroras or cloud formations, raising serious questions about its true origin and purpose. Military officials later claimed the lights resulted from a failed Russian missile test, but many observers questioned this explanation. The missile theory couldn't account for the spiral's duration, precise rotation, or the beam that emerged from its core. Has Norway witnessed an advanced propulsion test? While Norway's lights faded, another massive object appeared elsewhere. Waters hold. Secrets. In 2019, witnesses along Lake Erie's shoreline captured footage of an enormous cigar-shaped object hovering motionless above the water's surface. The craft appeared metallic and stretched several hundred feet in length, defying any known aircraft design. Local news stations described the footage as mind-boggling, with meteorologists unable to explain the phenomenon. Military analysts quickly ruled out the possibility of a submarine, as the object hovered silently in mid-air, showing no signs of surfacing or creating ripples on the lake's surface. The sighting echoed classified US Navy photographs from the 1970s that documented similar elongated objects over various bodies of water. The weather conditions that day were clear with minimal wind, eliminating atmospheric distortion as a factor. But what happens when these objects appear on private property? Behind the fence. In March 2020, a ranch security camera in Utah recorded a dark triangular object moving silently across the night sky. The footage initially appeared to show the craft behind a chain-link fence, suggesting it was relatively small and close to the camera. However, enhanced analysis revealed the object was likely much larger and farther away than first assumed. Digital filters applied to the video revealed that the craft held a consistent, clearly defined shape throughout the footage. Even while gliding across the frame at a steady speed for nearly 3 full minutes, there were no signs of distortion, flicker, or structural change, suggesting the object was solid and controlled. The object displayed no visible lights or exhaust trails typical of conventional aircraft. Ranch owners reported no engine sounds during the sighting, despite the clear night conditions. Rural sightings weren't isolated. Cities began reporting similar encounters. Lights over the bay. In February 2023, dozens of Miami residents filmed clusters of bright purple lights moving in formation above Biscayne Bay. The lights appeared to pulse and shift positions in coordinated patterns, unlike any known aircraft navigation systems. The purple coloration matched similar reports from witnesses in Australia and Canada over the previous 6 months, suggesting a possible connection between global incidents. Weather conditions were clear with excellent visibility, ruling out atmospheric distortion. So were the coordinated tests of the same technology appearing worldwide. What happens when military pilots encounter these same phenomena? The Tic Tac fleet. In November 2004, USS Nimitz radar operators tracked multiple unknown objects off the California coast, performing maneuvers that defied physics. The craft descended from 80,000 feet to sea level in under 2 seconds, a feat that would destroy any known aircraft. Fighter jets scrambled to investigate and found white oval objects roughly the size of commercial airliners with no visible wings or propulsion systems. Advanced targeting equipment captured clear footage as the objects accelerated beyond the jet's ability to follow. Within hours of the encounter, unmarked helicopters arrived to confiscate all recorded evidence and data from the ship's systems. Military personnel were instructed not to discuss the incident, yet leaked footage eventually surfaced years later. Has the Navy documented technology that officially doesn't exist? The Nimitz incident wasn't isolated. More military encounters followed. The cube within a sphere. Between 2014 and 2015, Navy pilots flying from USS Theodore Roosevelt reported daily encounters with unknown objects off the Virginia coast. The craft appeared as cubes enclosed within transparent spheres, maintaining positions in restricted military airspace for over 12 hours at a time. Fighter jets nearly collided with these objects during training exercises, forcing pilots to file near-miss reports with safety officials. Advanced radar systems tracked the craft performing impossible maneuvers, including sudden stops from high-speed flight and 90-degree turns without deceleration. Some objects displayed unusual gravitational signatures that registered as heart-shaped patterns on detection equipment. The descriptions matched theoretical propulsion systems previously described by Area 51 whistleblower Bob Lazar decades earlier. Could these encounters represent operational tests of reverse-engineered technology in active military zones? Have there been instances when entire cities witnessed the same phenomenon? Desert sky invasion. On March 13, 1997, thousands of witnesses across Arizona and Nevada reported a massive V-shaped craft moving silently through the night sky. The object stretched nearly a mile wide and travelled over 300 miles during a multi-hour journey from Phoenix to Tucson. Pilots, police officers, and government officials watched the craft pass overhead at low altitude, blocking out stars as it moved. The object appeared solid and maintained perfect formation while navigating around mountain ranges and populated areas. Military officials later claimed the lights resulted from flare exercises, but witnesses insisted the craft was visible through cloud cover and produced no sound typical of aircraft operations. Commercial pilot Kurt Russell radioed air traffic control about the sighting, while Governor Fife Symington later admitted he also saw the unexplained object. Mass sightings weren't enough. Then a whistleblower stepped forward, breaking the silence. In July 2023, former intelligence officer David Grush testified before Congress about a secret government program to recover and study non-human spacecraft. Former program director Luis Elizondo had previously resigned in protest over the government's refusal to acknowledge these encounters publicly. Grush provided classified evidence to congressional investigators while testifying under oath about systematic cover-up efforts. Grush's testimony forced the Pentagon to make an unprecedented admission that would change everything we thought we knew. Official acknowledgement. In June 2021, the Pentagon released its first official report on unidentified aerial phenomena, acknowledging over 140 encounters documented by military personnel since 2004. The report detailed objects that accelerated beyond the speed of sound without producing sonic booms, defying known physics principles. While the Pentagon acknowledged UAPs over American waters, thousands of miles away, another government was conducting its investigation. Coastal anomalies. Between 2007 and 2009, residents along Turkey's Marmara Sea coastline reported recurring sightings of large metallic objects hovering above the water during nighttime hours. Local photographer Yalcin Yalman captured extensive video footage using high-definition cameras, documenting craft that appeared to contain illuminated chambers with moving figures inside. The Turkish Scientific and Technology Research Council conducted a 3-year analysis of the recordings, concluding the footage showed no evidence of digital manipulation or hoaxing. 12 independent witnesses provided consistent testimony about the object's appearance, movement patterns, and duration of sightings across multiple years. Weather conditions during filming were clear with minimal atmospheric distortion, allowing for detailed observation of the craft's metallic surfaces and internal lighting. Government committees at both regional and national levels reviewed the evidence, with officials stating they could not identify the objects using conventional explanations. The case represented one of the most thoroughly documented multi-year UAP investigations ever conducted by a government agency. Turkey's investigation revealed detailed footage, but across Europe, what other case would remain hidden from the public for 3 decades? Highland Secrets. On August 4, 1990, 2 hikers near Calvine, Scotland, captured a photograph showing a large diamond-shaped object hovering silently above the Highland countryside. A Royal Air Force Harrier jet appeared in the same frame, dwarfed by the mysterious craft's size. The witnesses used a standard 35mm camera during clear afternoon conditions, producing an image with exceptional detail and clarity. Within hours of submitting the photograph to a local newspaper, Ministry of Defence officials confiscated all copies and classified the material under the Official Secrets Act. Digital analysis conducted decades later confirmed the image contained no evidence of manipulation, double exposure, or digital editing. The government sealed the witnesses' identities until 2076, preventing any public interviews or testimony about their experience. Defense officials claimed the classification was necessary for national security reasons, but did not explain the unusual 86-year secrecy period. While governments classified evidence, witnesses themselves began reporting visits from mysterious figures attempting to silence their testimonies altogether. But why? The visitors. In March 2009, security cameras at a Niagara Falls hotel captured two identical men approaching a guest who had recently filmed a triangular craft over the falls. The figures wore matching black suits and displayed unusual physical features, including completely hairless faces with no visible eyebrows or facial hair. Hotel staff later described the men as speaking in monotone voices and asking specific questions about the witnesses' UFO sighting from the previous week. Footage showed the pair moving with synchronized gestures and maintaining identical postures throughout their 50-minute conversation with the startled guest. The witness reported feeling intimidated and agreed to delete his video recordings of the aerial phenomenon. Hotel management found no record of the men checking in or registering as guests, despite the encounter occurring in a secured lobby area. Security personnel noted the visitors left no fingerprints on surfaces they touched and departed without using the main exits. Were these government agents employing psychological tactics, or something else entirely? Does it also explain the footage allegedly showing actual alien beings suddenly appearing on the internet anonymously? Digital evidence. In August 2011, an anonymous user uploaded grainy black and white footage to Reddit, claiming to show authentic alien beings from Soviet-era archives. The video depicted thin, large-headed creatures with elongated limbs moving in what appeared to be a controlled environment. Text overlays suggested the material originated from a diplomatic contact mission involving beings from the Zeta Reticuli star system during the Cold War period. Visual effects expert Randy Sharp conducted a comprehensive $250,000 frame-by-frame analysis, concluding the footage showed no signs of digital manipulation or contemporary CGI techniques. The video's film grain, lighting inconsistencies, and motion blur matched authentic archival material from the 1940s and 1950s. No individual or organization claimed responsibility for creating or distributing the footage, eliminating typical hoax motivations like profit or publicity. The uploader's account disappeared shortly after the initial posting, leaving no digital trail or contact information. Government archives from the reference period remain classified, preventing verification of the footage's alleged origins. While anonymous footage raised questions about alien contact, astronomers discovered something unexpected entering our solar system from deep space. The Wanderer. In October 2017, Hawaiian astronomers detected an elongated object traveling through our solar system at 55 kilometers per second, far exceeding typical comet velocities. The cigar-shaped visitor, designated Oumuamua, measured roughly 400 meters in length and displayed no visible tail despite passing within 37 million kilometers of the Sun. Most comets develop bright tails when heated by solar radiation, yet this object remained dark and featureless throughout its approach. Gravitational calculations revealed Oumuamua originated from outside our solar system, making it the first confirmed interstellar visitor ever observed. The object's unusual acceleration pattern puzzled scientists as it gained speed without displaying typical comet behavior or gas emissions. Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb proposed that the acceleration could result from artificial construction, suggesting a possible probe or solar sail design. Other researchers theorized the object consisted of hydrogen ice, explaining its lack of visible outgassing. The debate continues as Oumuamua travels beyond detection range, leaving fundamental questions about its true nature unanswered. Had humanity witnessed natural phenomena or something deliberately sent to observe us? And while Oumuamua disappeared into deep space, researchers turned their attention to mysteries hidden beneath Earth's waters. Depths of silence. In 2009, photographer Sergei Kononik captured images of luminous spheres emerging from Lake Baikal's surface during a midnight expedition along the Siberian shoreline. The glowing orbs rose silently from the water before disappearing into the darkness above the world's deepest freshwater lake. Kononik's photographs revealed structured formations within the lights, suggesting they were not natural phenomena like methane bubbles or bioluminescence. Local fishing communities had reported similar sightings for decades, describing objects that moved with purpose beneath the lake's 1,600-metre depths. Military records from 1982 documented a more disturbing encounter when Russian Navy divers training at 50 metres reported contact with enormous humanoid figures in metallic suits. The divers attempted rapid ascent to escape the creatures, resulting in severe decompression sickness that killed 3 personnel. Official reports classified the incident, but surviving divers maintained their accounts of the underwater encounter. Lake Baikal contains 20% of Earth's unfrozen fresh water, providing vast unexplored territories that could conceal advanced installations. While underwater mysteries remained hidden beneath Siberian waters, a Brazilian farmer's encounter would become one of history's most documented abduction cases. Night in the Fields. On October 15, 1957, 23-year-old Antonio Villas Boas was ploughing his family's soybean field near São Francisco de Sales when bright lights descended from the night sky. The young farmer described being forcibly taken aboard an egg-shaped craft where beings conducted extensive medical examinations using unknown instruments. Antonio reported spending several hours inside the vehicle, observing its interior design and interacting with the occupants through gestures and symbols. Upon his return to the field before dawn, he discovered unusual marks on his skin and experienced severe nausea that lasted for weeks. Local doctors documented symptoms consistent with radiation exposure, including hair loss and skin lesions, that appeared shortly after the encounter. Antonio's detailed account remained unchanged throughout decades of interviews and investigations until he died in 1991. His story predated widespread UFO abduction reports by several years, making it one of the earliest documented cases of its kind. Brazilian researchers found no evidence of hoaxing or mental illness in their extensive background checks. If advanced technology is being tested in our skies, who's really behind the controls? With governments finally admitting these phenomena are real, what aren't they telling us? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.